Hi, I'm Elizabeth DeRazio coming to you from Harpoon Brewery in Windsor, Vermont. And as we raise a pint today, we're going to do it for a good cause. I'm joined by Jean Brown. She's the Executive Director of the Friends of the Norris Cotton Cancer Center. And I want to have you start to understand the great work that they do and dollar for dollar the effect they have on members of our own family and friends right here in the community. Jean's going to tell us about the Prouty, which I'm sure you've heard about, but how we can get involved and the effect it has on lives of people we know and love. Thank you for joining us, Jean.
Oh, thanks for having me, Liz. It's one of those unfortunate facts of life that cancer touches
Everybody.
everyone. So one of the reasons that the Prouty exists is so that people can actually do something about it. Because so often we're watching our friends and our family and they're struggling with the disease or they're struggling after the disease, and the Prouty lets you do something. So the Prouty has been in existence for 35 years, and it started in 1982 when 4 nurses decided to ride 100 miles in honor of their patient, Audrey Prouty.
Okay.
So many people say, what's a Prouty? Well, Prouty is a patient. Audrey Prouty had ovarian cancer and she fought it for 9 years, and she died in August of 1982. And just before she passed away, the nurses, who were so impressed with who she was and how she battled the disease, they said, Audrey, we're going to ride 100 miles through the White Mountains on our bicycles, and we haven't trained, just to raise money and awareness for cancer research and patient services at Norris Cotton Cancer Center. So they did. And that year there were maybe 6, 8 riders. There were the 4 of them and a couple of other people. Audrey's husband, the widower, drove the sag wagon, the truck behind the girls, so that if they needed to stop or they needed something, he was there for them. And they raised $4,000, which was double their goal. They had wanted to raise 2, and they raised 4, which was amazing. And the Prouty has happened every year since then. And last year was our 35th. And we had 4,300 participants, 1,200 volunteers, and we were able to raise more than $3 million.
And the thing is, that sounds so large, but when you think of the cost of the care and the research that are involved for just one person to have treatment, it's an effect, but it's never enough. Now, the interesting thing you mentioned is there's different kinds of people involved. There's the riders, but there's also the volunteers. Tell us how we can get involved on both sides of the spectrum.
Oh, well, and we need everybody. We need all the help we can get. So there's a website. It's called theprouty.org, and that's Prouty. So it's theprouty.org. And there you'll be able to register. The 2017 event website will be live for registration in January.
Nice.
So right now you'll see the 2016 site.
Good.
And at that website, you can register to be a participant, you can register to be a volunteer. And instead of having to ride your bicycle 100 miles, there are a number of ways you can participate in the Prouty. And we've broadened it just so that as many people as possible could make a difference. So you can walk multiple lengths, kilometer lengths. You can cycle. You can do a 2-day, 200-mile cycling event. You can row the Connecticut River if you scull or sweep, serious, and you can golf.
And there's a lot of golfers in the area.
Why not? So, and if you can't do any of those and you can't be at the Prouty on that, next year it's going to be on the 8th. It's a Saturday, July 8th. If you can't be there then, you can also be a Prouty virtual. And that means you can do the Prouty by signing up on the website and then raising money for whatever it is you want to do, wherever or whenever you want to do it.
And that's important because supporting the Norris Cotton Cancer Center affects so many people locally.
Exactly right. So, and that's what's key about, so the Prouty raises money for Norris Cotton Cancer Center. All of the money stays locally. Our event costs are between 9 and 10%, depending on how much money we raise.
And that's huge because there are many other cancer societies that have legitimate missions, but unfortunately their overhead costs mean you give $1.50 gets to where it actually goes where you think it's going.
That's right. So we're really happy, like 90 cents of the dollar, maybe it's 89, in that range. We're very proud of that. And the money stays very specifically. So we don't actually do care because the medical costs, as you noted, are so expensive, we wouldn't have any money left. So what this is to do, the money is raised so that you can do research that would otherwise not be done, and you can help provide services to patients and their families that otherwise wouldn't be funded. So if you're a cancer patient, you can get massage, you can have a support group, you can do art and writing programs to help manage the emotional cost. You can have wig replaced. You can do all sorts of things, healing harp, music, food, all of those things that we provide, and we're honored to be able to do that. And then in the research end, we support clinical trials. We help buy equipment that is so expensive.
Right.
So this really helps that. And then there's another aspect to the research, which is we call seed money. So some of the money from the Prouty gets allotted to researchers who have a really good idea, but they don't have any money to start their research. And the only way to get a significant federal grant is if you have data to prove your hypothesis. The data shows that it's a really good idea.
So literally, your little bit of money now could be funding something much wider that it could even affect the whole country.
It does. So over a 5-year period, we went and looked. Over a 5-year period, we put in $1.2 million into these smaller seed grants. And it returned $20 million in federal funding, which is really a testament to the science at Norris Cotton Cancer Center. We're so proud of this entity that we have here in our neighborhood. We serve all of northern New England. We're the only comprehensive cancer center. So we are a National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center. There are 45 in the country. Very few are rural. So when you're up here in Lebanon, you're in rural, right? And there are 15 locations around Vermont and New Hampshire where you can receive our care.
So I want to make sure that our visitors understand that this is local, high-quality cancer care. And check out how you can participate in the Prouty next year to raise money, whether virtually, as a rider, or in person. Maybe we need help. We got to help support all the riders and the sportsmen out there.
Or the walkers or the golfers.
Or the walkers. You got to get out there. And remember, by supporting the Friends of Norris Cotton Cancer Center, you're impacting lives of friends and family who live right next door.